Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This video will be all about removing mods from Lexy's mod guide. I'm going to show you, or rather introduce to you, a method on how to remove mods. This method isn't unique to Lexy's guide, but can be used to remove mods from any mod loadout. I'd love to show you how to remove every specific mod, but everyone's tastes are different, and that would be impossible for me to do. However, I will take requests. I will use your requests as examples to demonstrate the method I use to remove mods safely. Also, I'm taking requests on how to add mods, but that is a separate video. I should also say that this is my method because this is a method I came up on my own, but it's a very logical way of doing things, so I imagine this is probably everybody's method, but whatever. I will also say that this method is version independent. This method will work for every version of Skyrim, including BR and Anniversary Edition. The method I'm going to show you is specific to using Mod Organizer, however. I can't imagine trying to do this with Vortex. Sounds like a nightmare. No offense to Vortex and company, of course. Also, do not remove mods in the middle of a playthrough. You will wreck your saves. I do not care who said what about whatever about there being a safe way to do this. To this I call poppycock. Forum IDs get wrecked, scripts get screwy, and Voldemort gets a hard-on. Your game may seem fine at first, but maybe, even after a good long while, the bugs and instability you most likely introduced will surface. Do you really want to gamble your save that has over 100 hours invested into it? Okay, so what is this method? It's a series of steps, actually. Step 1. Locate the mod you want to remove in the left window of Mod Organizer. Step 2. Does the mod have a plugin? If not, disable the mod and you're done. If it does have a plugin, move on to Step 3. Step 3. Locate the plugin in the right window and disable it. Step 4. Scroll down in the right window and locate any plugins affected by the disabled plugin. If there aren't any plugins affected, you're free to disable the mod. If there are plugins affected, move on to Step 5. Step 5. Address the affected plugins, and this step is really what this video is about. For this video, we're going to use the Forgotten City as our example. This is a request from Morton. Thanks, Morton, for your suggestion. Okay, so let's locate Forgotten City in this side of Mod Organizer 2. So let's right-click and expand all this real quick. Expand all. Okay. To filter here, I'm going to type in Forgotten, or piece of it. The Forgotten City is right here. So now let's determine if this has a plugin. There's several ways of doing this. One way is you could just click on it, and then over here on this side, you'll see like a little blue dash. If there's an ESP, this blue dash is going to show you where it's located in this list. So if you scroll down, there it is right there, the Forgotten City. Or you could just open it up and take a look. See? Okay, so now that we've located the plugin, let's disable it. Let's see how that affects the rest of the loadout. So we're going to scroll down and look for a little error flag here in this column, and under the flags column. So let's scroll down. All right, so here's the first one, the Forgotten City patch for DBM. In this case, it's a patch for Forgotten City for Dragonborn Museum. And in this case, we're not going to actually remove any records or manipulate this with ZEdit. We're just going to straight up remove this patch. So any patches specific to Forgotten City, we're just going to remove. So let's keep going now. Keep scrolling down. All right, here's the next one. LoTD, TCC. This is for, the Forgotten City and the Curator's Companion. Okay, so this is another patch that's made specifically for the Forgotten City. So we're going to remove that. The reason why I'm disabling it instead of just removing it is that I want to make sure there's no other mods down the line that use this plugin as a dependency. So keep scrolling down. What we got? Okay, we got several here. And this is where you're going to probably see the bulk of any problems that we have. It's going to be towards the bottom. And this is ultimately what the guide is really about. Editing these files using ZEdit. But let's see what we got here first. All right. So this one, RS Children patches merged. All right. In this case, we're not going to actually edit this with ZEdit. We're just going to rebuild this merge minus the plugin that requires Forgotten City. Okay. So RS Children patches merged. Click on your tool button here. Go to Merge Plugins Hide. All right. Let's locate RS Children. There it is right there. Right click, enable those plugins. There we go. And here they are. So now let's drop in that profile that we used to build that merge. So let's look for RS Children. There it is. RS Children patches merged. Boom. And there it is. All the plugins nicely organized. So which one of these plugins is depending on Forgotten City? Well, since we changed profiles, it reactivated Forgotten City. So let's deactivate it. And boom, right away we see which patch that we need to remove from this merge. So now that we've located it, just drag it all the way to the bottom. Just like that. Okay, having done that, now let's rebuild the merge. So drop down, go to ZEdit. Right there. Run ZEdit. From here, drop down, go to ZMerge, start the session. And now let's look for that merge group for RS children. You'll know it when you see it here. Here you go. Red means that these patches are missing. Black shows that they're activated and ready to go. So now we need to remove the Forgotten City patch. So click on Edit, go into Plugins, and there it is right there. Forgotten City patch. Deactivate that, click OK. And now let's rebuild the patch. Or rebuild that merge rather. There we go. Easy as pie. Close this out. Let's go back to our primary profile, Legacy of the Dragonborn Special Edition. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well, we could clear this filter out. We don't need this anymore. Okay. Now let's merge plugins hide. Okay. Right click, disable, close. Now let's scroll all the way back down. Okay. So two things to see. One, RS Children patches merge. You'll see that there is no longer dependency here for Forgotten City. And two, here's that plugin that is no longer part of the merge. So we need to get rid of this. So click on it and you'll see where it's located right there. So drag this all the way down to here. Now this is part of a compendium. This is not just a patch by itself. So we're not going to just deactivate it because we'll end up deactivating a bunch of things that we don't want to deactivate. So you could either open it up and delete it like that, or you could do this, double click on it, go into optional plugins right here, optional plugins, here's that plugin, click on it and press this left arrow, boom, there, that's gone. All right, let's move on. So Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn consistency patches merged. That's the next one we're going to work on. Now this time we're actually going to use ZEdit and remove those plugins depending on that's dependent on Forgotten City. So drop down here, go to ZEdit, activate that. Okay. Right click here, select none, and we're just gonna select the plugin that we're gonna make the edits to. Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn consistency patches merged. So let's activate that. Truthfully, we could activate all the mods that we're gonna edit anyway, but I'm gonna do it one at a time just to keep things neatly and nicely organized. All right, no mod groups, please. All right, so let's go down. So here's the plugin that we're gonna make the edits to. So right click, apply script, and we're gonna look for report masters. For me, it's already showing. You could drop down and look for it here, or you could type in filter report masters and it automatically bring it up for you. So click OK. Now from here, we want to select forgotten cities. You could eyeball it. Well, okay, I see it right there. Or you could type it in the search field here. So click OK, and it's going to show all the records that's dependent on Forgotten City. Okay, got some quests, some alchemy stuff, books and armor. Okay, so from here to here, these are all the things that we got to remove. It looks complicated, but it's actually easy. So this first one, begin quest, we're going to copy the form ID. So let's copy this. And you can see the same form ID for all three entries here. So this is going to be one single entry that we're going to delete that's going to get rid of all three of these. So you can't right click and copy in ZEdit, so you're going to have to press Control C. All right, now go to Form ID up here, press Control V, and then enter. Boom, there we go, right here. So let's right click. All right, right now it's pointing to Forgotten City, but we're not making edits to Forgotten City. We're going to make edits to Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn consistency patch. So right click up here and then click jump to. Boom. So now we're under Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn consistency patch. All right. So we want to remove this entry right here. But this entry is part of this storyboard quest node. And it's the only entry that's under storyboard quest mode. So we're in a node. So we're going to actually delete this entire branch here. So right click and remove. 3, 2, 1. Yes, I'm sure. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, we do. Okay. Messages. So next up. Okay, so just from that one, I'm pretty sure we got rid of the top 3. Don't worry, we're going to double check. So now we're going to do Potato Moonshine. So copy the form ID. Control C. Go up here. Control V and enter. Boom. Same thing. Click on this heading here and jump to. Bam. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, so I want you guys to take note of something. See here, Forgotten City, where you see 29 in brackets. Depending on how many mods you load up at one time, this number is going to change. In this instance, it's 29. So while we're in this instance and making edits, this is what we're looking at. See here? This is referring to the start of the form ID. So 29, etc. And just by going on that, we could do a little bit investigating. We could see some other entries here starting with 29, which means it's related to Forgotten City. So what are we doing here? This is an entry that's made specifically for Forgotten City. No other mods are involved. So that means that we're just going to delete this entire entry here, meaning we're going to delete this. Okay, so we know what we're going to do for that. So let's do some investigating. Let's click on this one up here that starts with 29. Okay, so you can see Forgotten City, and here's a consistency patch. So once again, no other mods are involved. So this entry is specifically for Forgotten City. And this one too. This is the same. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. By the way, I don't know. Loot should arrange your loadout similar to mine, but it's not gonna be 100% the same. This 29 might not be showing up for you. It might be 28, 27, but it should be in the ballpark. Don't concern yourself if it isn't 29 for you. Just go by what you're seeing for yourself. And anyways, you're probably not following this step by step unless you specifically want to get rid of Forgotten City. I'm just simply showing you the the methodology in how to remove mods safely from Lexy's guide. Anyways, let's get to the point, huh? All right, so I did a little investigating, so I know all three of these entries need to be deleted. So I'm going to shift click to highlight all of them and then right click and remove. And these were all ingestibles or food. So let's go back to messages. So that was probably, yeah, these alchemy ingredients. So I'm pretty certain that we got rid of all four of these. Don't worry, we're gonna double check everything to make sure we get all the entries. So let's move on to Gulliver's Axe, which is a weapon. So let's highlight that form ID, Control C, Control V, enter. So same thing, no other mods are involved, just Forgotten City. So we're gonna remove this entry. So let's jump to see what we're looking at. Okay, so 29, and there's no other 29s here. So we're just going to remove that one entry. Remove. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Red ink well. It's a miscellaneous item, so let's copy this form ID. Control C, go up here, Control V, enter. And once again, just Forgotten City and no other mods, so we can just delete this. So jump to, let's take a look here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else with 29, so let's get rid of that. Remove, yes. Okay, messages. All right, so now we're looking at a bunch of book entries, and there's several of them. So we're gonna see a few here, watch. So let's just start with the very top one here. The Dremora Journal, excuse me. So let's highlight that form ID, Control C, then go over here, Control V, enter. Okay, so it's just changing the name of this journal. So Forgotten City, no other mods involved, so we're going to just delete this entry. So let's go ahead and jump to it. And let's do a little bit of investigating. So 29, and you can see several entries here starting with 29. And that reflects what we're seeing here in the messages, all these book entries. Okay. Click on view, go back to here. All right, so let's investigate, make sure that we do want to delete all this and not just remove a specific portion of it. So yeah, I'm clicking up and I can see it's just Forgotten City. No other no other mods are involved. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I click through all those, so I know for a fact that these entries are specific to Forgotten City, so I'm going to remove them. So I'm going to shift click to highlight them all and click and remove them. Right click to remove. Okay, so I'm fairly certain we got all the book entries. So let's move on to the armors here. And this is a lot of armor. So let's go ahead and highlight this. Control C. Come up here, Control V, enter. Okay, and once again, just entries specific to Forgotten City. So let's jump to this. And let's take a look here. Oh yeah, look at all these 29s all the way up. So let's click through them all and see what there is to see. And right off the bat, I'm seeing that So far, we don't see any entries that's specific to anything other than Forgotten City. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So every single one of these entries are specific to Forgotten City, and it's not involving any other mods. So let's go ahead and shift click all of these. Make sure you're only selecting 29. Nothing else. And then right click and remove. Boom. Yeah. And just doing this little bit of investigating over here on this side prevents us from having to, oh god, copying each one of these stupid entries and pasting it and jumping around. So I'm pretty sure we got all the armor entries. So here's all armor. Boom, 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 boom. All the way down. Look at this. We're down to the last ones here. It's an enchantment, and it looks like only 2 entries. Even though it says 3, the second Bandit Bane is part of this one. See, same form ID. So let's go ahead and copy this. Control C, go up here. Control V, enter. Boom. So Forgotten City, yeah. Once again, entry specific to Forgotten City. So let's jump. And let's see here. 29. I only see 1 entry here for 29. All right, so let's remove that 1 entry. Remove, yes. Okay, so let's go back to view. We're under view. And let's look for the main heading for Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn Consistency Patch. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, it's all the way up here. So now that we're back here, let's right click and we're just going to double check, see if there's any entries we missed. So report masters, okay. Locate Forgotten City. We could just type in Forgotten up here. All right, there it is right there. Click that box and let's see. Boom, okay, I missed one. I missed 1 entry. Out of all of this, I missed 1. So let's do this. Highlight that form ID, Control C, Control V, enter, and boom, yep, sure did. So right click, jump to 29, and this should be the very last entry we need to remove. Yes. All right, so let's do that check again. Woo, it's a long one. Here we go. All right. So right click, apply script, report masters, type in Forgotten, or Forge. It is right there. And run. Hit OK. So starting, applying script, report masters, and boom, done applying. And there's nothing. So we got everything. So the next step, I close it up, you don't have to close it, but next step is that we got to clean this of masters. So we're going to say clean masters, boom. Start cleaning, done. All right. So now that should have completely removed the master dependency for Forgotten City. To double check, once again, apply script, report masters, and now Forgotten City shouldn't show up in this this list. So let's type in Forgotten, our Forge, and as you can see, it is no longer here. So hit the X. We don't need to load that up now. And now let's close out ZEdit. Make sure this box is checked. Make sure this one isn't. Click OK. Boom, de boom, de boom. Bam. And here it is. As you can see, the dependency error is no longer there. All right, so now let's move on to talk consistency patch. So let's load up ZEdit. Right click, select none. Go all the way down. Or I could type in talk. That's probably what I'll do. There it is, talk consistency patch. So select it and OK. All right, no mod groups thanks. So you know what to do. Right click, apply script, report masters, OK. And this is a short list, so Forgotten City, click OK. Ah, this is nice and easy. Just a single entrance. Single entry. It's a dialogue entry, so let's go ahead and copy this form ID. Control C, Control V, enter. Boom. And that is not what I wanted to do. That was the wrong form ID. Let's go back to messages. What am I looking at? Oh, copy it right here. This is the form ID here. This is what we want. Control C, then go up here. Control V, enter. There we go. And as you can see, this one is actually involving more than just Forgotten City. This involves the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch and Tools of Ragnarok, which means we can't just delete this entry. We have to remove the entry that's specific to Forgotten City, which is right here. This entry right there. So in this case, we don't have to jump to talk consistency patch. We just need to remove this entry here. And to double check, just make sure we're looking at this. But still, I mean, it's running. This is green, so it shows that it was forwarded. But if you're like worried, you can just take a look here. Yeah, it is that entry. So just remove that entry. So right click on it, remove. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Boom. Now that's clean. And now this went red because this record is no longer being forwarded. This record is being overwritten by Tools of Ragnarok and the consistency patch. So now this patch, the function of this patch, what this patch is now doing is reconciling unofficial Skyrim edition, special edition patch and Tools of Ragnarok to make sure that these work together well. Okay. Okay. Actually, I am going to jump to talk just to make it easier to find here. Here we go. So now we're going to do that again. Apply script, report masters, just to make sure we didn't miss any entries. So, okay. Then applying script. There's nothing here, so we're good. So now we can clean it. Right click, clean masters. There we go. Now run the script again. Apply script, report masters, and you'll see Forgotten City is no longer in this list. Good. X out. Now we can get out of ZEdit. See, not too bad. So make sure that box is checked. Backup is not. Okay. And boom, that dependency is gone. So next up, mega conflict resolution. This is the major conflict resolution for Lexy's guide. So let's see how much or how many entries are here that we need to edit. So let's go ahead and open up ZEdit. Right click, select none. We know it's at the bottom. So here it is. Lexy's Legacy of Dragonborn, a mega conflict resolution. So just choose that box. Boom. All right, no mod groups, thanks. So let's go to the bottom here. Right click and apply that script. Report masters. Long list. I'm going to type in forgotten up here. Forgotten. There it is. Boom. Okay. So what do we get? Oh, nice and easy. Just basically boils down to one entry. So let's copy this form ID. Control C. Come up here to form ID. Control V. Enter. Okay, so this entry is just specific to Forgotten City, so we're just going to delete this entire entry. So let's jump to, boom, right there. Right click and remove. Are you sure? Yes. All right, let's go back to here. And we can see it was the same entry. This entry falls under that one. So we're going to go ahead and apply that script, report masters, and go to Forgotten City again. Let's see, make sure we didn't miss nothing. And we didn't. We're good. Nice and easy. I like that. So let's go ahead and clean the masters. Boom. Done cleaning. And we're going to check again. Apply script. Report masters. Type in forge. Forgotten. And as you see, there is not... Forgotten City is no longer in this list, which is what we want. All right, let's close out ZEdit. Make sure that's checked. Make sure this isn't. Okay. All right, next up, pre-bash merged. So in this case, we're just gonna rebuild this merge minus the plugin that needs Forgotten City. So click on the tool button, merge plugins hide, locate pre-bash merge right there, right click, enable plugins. Boom, okay. Switch profile to pre-bash merge profile. There we go. Now let's locate Forgotten City. It's probably going to be this one, but just to be sure, it might be more than one. Let's see. Where's Forgotten City? There it is right there. So deactivate that and yeah, it's just that one. So go ahead and drag that to the bottom. Good. Now let's rebuild the merge. ZEdit, run. Drop down, Z merge, start session. All right, let's find pre-bash merge. See how everything is red. We're looking for the one that are black. And here it is right here, pre-bash merge. So click on edit, plugins, and let's deselect the Forgotten City patch here. Bam. Okay, and let's rebuild it. Super fast, super easy. All right, that's done. Let's close it out. All right, let's switch back to our primary profile, Legacy of Dragonborn Special Edition. Boom, and let's see what we did. What did we do? Oh, first let's do merge plugins hide. Right click on pre-bash merge, disable plugins, boom. Excellent. All right, what did we do? All right, pre-bash merge no longer has that dependency. And here's that leftover plugin Forgotten City. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So I'm clicking it to locate it here. There we go. And this might be just for Forgotten City. Yep. So in this case, we could just deactivate this right here. Boom. All right, so that's good. So what do we have left over? Synthesis. Now we could load up synthesis and do, you know, the script, report master script, or since it doesn't take very long to just rebuild synthesis, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to rebuild synthesis. Say synthesis 10 times real fast. Run. Okay, we're going to let that initialize. There we go. All right, now it's ready, so just click run. Boom. Let it do its thing. All right, once that's completed, we can go ahead and exit out of here. And boom, you can see that dependency is gone. All right, now that all that is settled, we can remove those patches that we deactivated. So scroll up until you see an unchecked box. So here's the first one. Clicking on it will reveal its location. Alright, it's part of the creator's companion, and there's a bunch of stuff in here other than just this plugin. So instead of deactivating it, we're going to double click it, go into optional files, and let's locate TCC TFC. Where is it? TCC. There it is, TFC. So click on it, click the button here to move it, close. Alright, that's gone. I'll scroll up, let's look for the other patch. Here it is right here. DBM Forgotten City patch. Clicking on it reveals that it's over here. Legacy Dragonborn patches. So that's another patch compendium, whatever. So we're not going to just deactivate it. Double click, optional ASPs, and look for DBM Forgotten City. It's right there. So click it, get rid of it. Boom. All right, now that's done. Now we can finally just straight up remove Forgotten City. So where was that? I'm too lazy. There you are. So click on it to reveal where that mod is installed. It's a little hard to see because it's overlapping this green right there, but I can see it. It's right there. There we go. And now we can just straight remove it. Bam. Let's clear this filter. Double check that there aren't any problems. We're looking for any flags showing that there might be problems. Alright, and there isn't. That's done. Alright guys, that's a pretty good length of a video. I hope you learned something. Once again, thank you, Morton, for the suggestion. Forgotten City was a very good example. So I am still taking requests. I'd be more than happy to make more videos on how to do this. So if there's a mod that you're having trouble with removing, I'd be happy to provide some guidance and to give an example for everyone else. Also, I'm going to link an older video of mine referring to my original Lexy Legacy Dragonborn mod guide installation, walkthrough, whatever, that shows several more examples and is still relevant to the current loadout because it's the same methodologies used. Okay guys, have a great one. In the coming days, I'm going to release another video concerning how to add mods to this guide and integrate it safely. It's kind of the opposite of what we did here. So I'm looking forward to that, and I am looking for some more suggestions there. I got a suggestion from Morton concerning Bruma, so that video is gonna focus on Bruma, integrating Bruma into the guide. Well, anyways, thank you for joining me, and I hope you're having a great day, a great week. I hope the mod apocalypse hasn't freaked you out too badly because you were smart and you disabled the auto update and you backed everything up just in case. Well, anyways, guys, thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.